Now, Genesis timeout is about the result from last game, Gen versus Esperanza. No, to be fair, I don't remember. Taxi Student, that's Esperanza starting with a quick attack here. Taxi Student is a trill on goal and it's already one shot for Esperanza. Taxi Student was so free there. 7-1 for PZ, oh well, I guess. To be fair, they're head to head in friendlies. It's a very different story. I think Genesis have more wins in friendlies. But apparently the one win that Esperanza have was the league game. If I can trust you, if I can trust your word. Dan to Berry Boy. Can look at what? Ah, 3 months ago. Oh, to be fair, I didn't even think that the head-to-head is so like it accounts for all matches historically, right? I should have known. Yeah, Edward being pressured by Pedro, goes past Pedro, goes right wing. Yeah, if it does historically, then it's a very different story, I guess. Yeah, Edward might go for a 180 shot there. Actually plays it to Faceless. Faceless back to Pogba, back to Faceless on the right wing. Back to Pogba. Pogba goes for a shot, and that was very close. Lumpy had a little jump scare there. Sebi has no options, gets tackled by Faceless. Faceless can make it a dangerous opportunity, but it was intercepted. The pass just didn't find Taxi in the box there, and now it's Slab versus Petitos. Slabhead is true. Slabhead goes for a shot, and Sani will take that very confidently. Esperanza on the counter attack. Pedro playing real deep. Who warned me? It might have been Maxime. It will probably be me as well. Taxi finds Edward, and Edward, ooh, a very quick shot there, but it was aimed straight at Slumby and it deflected off of him into the past the corner line. And now Taxi whips it in. He actually went for a shot. He went for a shot, and that just went above the goal. What a cheeky little way to play a corner. Faceless almost takes it off Sebi again. Sebi just likes running it into Faceless. But now Sebi runs it away from Bogba, and he has space on the wing. Bogba will not be able to catch up. Sebi will probably go for a fast cross. It goes for a cross, goes back post. Miloš tried to tap it back to Overdose, but it went over his head. Great little idea there, just unlucky that the ball was a bit too high. Taxi Student. Wide to Petitos. Petitos overlapping. Bogba not going inside. Petitos goes for the switch instead. Almost fights Faceless, but a great tackle by Berry Boy. Slumby, a little bit of a dangerous chip there, and Dan decides to play it safe. Piss the ball off. Pass the Taxi, and inshallah. Oh, I think Esperanza have more up their sleeve than that. Petitos will go for a cross. Finds Edward, but it was deflected off of Dan, and it's a corner for PZ. Taxi making his way. Never mind, Taxi will go into the box, and it will be a normal cross. Goes over Taxi's head. It was a good cross, I believe. Berry Boy. No options, so he'll probably go to Dan. Dan smashes it forward to Overdose, and that's a good ball. Overdose up against Hisoka. Not very many options that he can go for. He does wait for Miloš. Miloš to Slab. Slab goes for a back post shot, and Bogba saves it. He knew it's coming. What a play there. And now Taxi Student is up against 3. Taxi Student, a little bit of a teleport to Edward. Edward will try to make his way through to Genesis defense. No, he will not. Oh, Faceless hits himself, and now it's Genesis on the counter attack again. Overdose to Slabhead. Slabhead doesn't have too many options. He'll probably go for a cross, or actually will he try to beat Petitos and go for another shot? He tries to beat Petitos, but Petitos is there solid as a rock. Sebi back to Dan. Genesis will just reset it to Pedro. Pedro back to Berry Boy. And yeah, Genesis are just calmly stretching PZ out again. Sebi finds himself some space, beats Petitos. Petitos with a little bit of a mindless rush there, but he's covered by Bogba, so it's fine. Sebi goes for a cross, and it hits Bogba, and now it's a corner for Genesis. Goes for the back post, but it was kind of curled in way too much and the wall headed it out, and now it's Micro against Milos. Micro gets stopped by Milos. That won't stop him from recovering the ball. Switch to Petitos, but that was a little bit too much curve on that ball, and now Overdose has it. Overdose, Bas Pogba. Overdose will go for a shot, and it's a corner again. Pogba doing some God's work in defense. That's yeah, another back post cross that just flies over the box. Easy ball for I wanted to say it's an easy ball for Edward, but seems like Sandy missed it a little bit. And now Berry Boy finds himself in the corner of the field with Dan as his only option. Dan goes to Slabhead. Slabhead surrounded by trees. Slabhead does find Berry Boy. Very nice use of space. But there's just so many of them, and Berry Boy kicks it out. Pogba will go for Micro. Micro will probably pull a couple of them. Oh, what a good run by Edward, and Edward is through on goal. Edward goes for the shot. Edward Bauer. And Slumby saves it. It was a first post shot. Pretty easy save for him. Yeah, Micro really is putting in a lot of impact there. Milos to Berry Boy. Berry Boy will probably play Dan. Dan will switch it to Sebi. Sebi will try to. Will he try to? He won't. He can't risk it again. Is Micro the GOAT? No. You're trying to do the word GOAT way too much. Oh, a mistake there by Genesis. And now Esperanza have the ball in their field. Esperanza. Pogba has some space wide. Pogba fakes a shot. Pogba will go for a shot here. Pogba. It gets blocked by Pedro, but Petitos will pick. Yeah, Petitos will pick that up eventually. What do you mean? I literally listen to the stream and I hear myself fine, bruv. Get your stream volume up from 1%. Taxi. Taxi pulls the ball back and shoots first post, and it's a little wide of the goal. And now Genesis are on the counter, but that's a very difficult task. Since Esperanza are defending with a lot of people. Milos up against Hisoka. Hisoka, nice cross, but it was deflected off of someone's head, and the ball velocity just decreased enough for Slumby to confidently pick it up. Overdose up against Pogba, a little bit of wiggly woggly, and Overdose goes for a shot. No, he doesn't. No, he does, and yeah, a little bit of a misplay there as he passes straight into Petito's feet. Great chance there, great run, but unfortunately the pass just wasn't there. Faceless recovers this good switch. Faceless misses the ball but still has it in control, and Sebi just woofs it out into Slaphead's feet. Sebi goes for a long ball to the right, finds Milos. Milos up against Hisoka. And eventually up against Pogba if he goes through, but Milos actually will go for the cross. It's a good cross, and it's headed out by Murgueza. Pedro now has the ball. Pedro out wide to Slaphead. Slaphead will go for the cross. He goes to Overdose. Overdose. Ooh, what a crazy save by Senny. It was a great flick by Overdose there, but Senny has insane reflexes and he saves it from going into the second post. Dan finds Overdose. Overdose back to Berry Boy. Berry Boy loses it to Edward. Very dangerous play there. Taxi Student now up against Dan. And Berry Boy finds Edward again. Edward goes for a cross, and Slumby recovers that. Very, very well done there. And Milos now forces his team to reset, and that's the right decision. You do want your attackers at full stam. You do want everyone to get into position when you're attacking against Esperanza. Slabhead goes for Pedro. Pedro is pressured hard. Pedro makes it through, but Sandy with a great save, but it deflects off his head, and Overdose slams it into the goal, and it's 1-0 for Genesis, the unlikely opener in this game. And what a play by Pedro. He just runs forward and nobody was there in his way to stop him. And it's so unfortunate for Senny that the ball deflected, but it is what it is. You got shot at point blank. If you grab that, it will just be unfair. And now Esperanza are on the back foot, and Edward will try to make something happen. Edward tries to find some space in the middle, but there's just too many people from Genesis, and Pogba covering for Petito's overlap. Faceless on the right wing. Faceless up against Pedro and Sebi. Faceless goes for a cross, but it's too high for Edward. And Edward is confused. Now it's Berry Boy on the right, running away from Taxi Student. Taxi Student does catch up to him and stops him with a foul, and it's a yellow card. Can't afford to do that again. Oh, Pedro saw the slap head run, but it was intercepted. Could have been a great ball through on goal. Faceless on the right wing. Will we go for the cross? He lagged. And it's a throw in for Genesis instead. How is it a throw in for Genesis? I wonder too, Faceless. Because it seemed like Sebi touched it outside, not him. Soka will play it back to Sani. Sani to Taxi. Taxi has Edward on the left. Never mind. Taxi will go left himself. There's 3 players of Esperanza on the attacking line, and Micro tried to find one of them with the pass, but he didn't. And Sebi tried to play slaphead through with a flick. I mean a chip. But that didn't work out well. And now Faceless is on the right wing, crossing again and not finding Edward again. And oh, great ball by Micro. Edward makes it through and somehow finds the time to charge a shot and go second post. And this is... They made it look so simple. Faceless misses the cross. Pogba plays it to wide Micro. Micro with a great ball into Edward's feet, and Pedro Pedro tried to pick it up with mouse 1 from Edward's feet, and it just rebounded back into Edward. Taxi carry, you can say that, but it was a very good turn and spin by Edward there in the box. Good killer instinct with that finishing, and now Genesis are equal to PZ again. Sebi, good cross, but stopped by Petito's. Faceless. There's little to no time. There's like a minute and a half of in-game time, but yeah, it's gone. It wasn't a minute and a half. It was half a minute. 1-1 Esperanza versus Genesis. Pretty dominant, I'd say, from Esperanza, but it doesn't end up bringing them goals. We see that they have more shots, there are more chances, and it's just not working out so far because, yeah, I don't know why, but it's not working out. We have Kaim on the bench for Esperanza, also patiently waiting for his chance to go in. I don't know if he will, but he's there. But now Genesis will kick the second half off. This is winnable for them. As we can see, Senny has saved Esperanza a couple times. It could have been more, but if not for Senny's crazy saves. And Taxi now goes for the shot, and Slumby reads the shot very well. Somehow Micro manages to find his way to shoot on goal without any obstacles again, and Micro just navigates the Genesis defense line so well, especially in the box, making it very, very hard for them to be more aggressive, because you just need more people in Micro since he's beating every one of your defenders. Pogba back to Murgueza. Murgueza has nobody on the left, tries to play, I don't know if that was for Edward or for Faceless, but it failed anyways. And now Slaphead up against Petito. Slaphead will go wide, will go all the way, wait for his team to get in position. Slaphead might be waiting a little bit too much, plays it back to Sebi. Sebi will play it back to Dan, and that's a good reset. There was no reason to force this at all. Genesis finding some empty spaces, playing back. Pedro dropping real deep. Pedro goes for the left. It's for Sebi. Sebi up against Petitos, and now there's gonna be more players. Actually, there's only one player in the box for some reason, and Slabhead and Milish were just standing outside on the edge. Slabhead had a clear shot there, but it was blocked by Pogba just in time. And now it's a corner for Genesis. Seems like they're not too optimistic of their header game. judging by how the strikers positioned themselves around the box. Berry Boy with a little bit of lag. Milosh caged in on the right wing by Edward and Hisoka, and now Genesis are forced to find their way through the other side of the field. Pedro. Pedro maybe a little too optimistic there of his dribbling, and now Faceless. Faceless is trying to make his way through the Genesis defense. Micro did not expect that ball being for him. He thought Edward or someone else would be on the left wing, and that was a mistake, and now Genesis have the ball again. Possession wise, Genesis are obviously leading, but that's whether that's bringing some results is up to debate. I mean, Faceless is doing his best. Okay, Berry Boy tries to play over those through, but that was a little bit too hard or too far away from him, and now it's Esperanza. Bokpa just running away from two players in his own pitch. Petito standing outside of the field line. Oh, and Micro is true, he's not offside, and it might be a clear shot there. He might have a shot. He does have a shot, and he goes for a chip, and this is 2-1 for Esperanza. I'm sorry. Taxi Student with an incredibly lucky ball just ending up at his feet. I think someone from the Genesis side missed it or something like that, but he ends up completely executing Slumby, and yeah, this seems like it is the Taxi Student carry. And you cannot blame Slumby for that. Taxi Student just miraculously ends up through on goal there, and it's a tough situation in general. It also seemed like he was gonna cross. Pedro. Pedro loses the... oh, actually he doesn't. Barely makes it to Sebi. Sebi to Dan. Dan to Berry Boy, and Genesis are now on the back foot, and now they've got something to prove, and now they have a chip on their shoulder, and it's really something that puts a lot of pressure on you in the game. What you can see it in the second half, and oh, Edward made his way through two defenders, and nobody was there to reach his pass. Unfortunately, nobody was there to reach Micro's pass either. PZR playing good. That is true. I mean, Takapo put it on God that Esperanza will win, so you can't really doubt it. Slabhead is given quite a bit of space, but there's nobody else being open except for Berry Boy, who made his overlap on the right. Bogba does stop him though. Bogba does a lot of spinning around, and Berry Boy is confused, and now Petitos has the ball. Petitos tries to play it through wide to... oh, my second monitor is dying. What the hell is going on? Something happened. Yeah. Average case at stream, I'm sorry for that. I have no clue what that was. I had the game running on my stream, my screen I mean. Anyways, some things happened, and now Esperanza have the ball. Sani is just looking to waste a little bit of time. Esperanza playing very patient. Mergueza back to Sani, and this does not look like that 7-1 game they've had previously, but Esperanza are still looking very confident, and Hisoka is given a lot of space, and Pogba sees it. Hisoka will go all the way. Actually, Pedro almost manages to woof him, and Hisoka resets it back to Pogba. Pogba goes past Pedro, is stopped anyway. Micro now. Micro back to Pogba. Pogba will probably go for edge. Never mind. Yeah, he will. Taxi had the shot charged up, and it's actually a goal. I didn't expect it to go in, but that was a very decent shot, and I think Slumby was called out of position, and Taxi Student literally carrying Esperanza to 3-1. Pogba, a very good decision here, and Taxi had it charged up, and Slumby did not reach the ball, barely making it past the goalkeeper, and now Esperanza are very confidently leading this game, and Genesis have a lot of work on their plate. Taxi carry. Should have picked Taxi Student in Fantasy. I was thinking about it, but I didn't think he would carry this hard. But we'll see. Berry Boy goes for a cross, and now it's a good header, but Seni is not taken aback by something like this, and Taxi Student is true again. How much stamp does he have though? Taxi Student goes for Edward. Edward will probably... no, Edward will try to make his way through the entirety of the Genesis defense, and that did not end well for him. I didn't pick Taxi because he was too expensive, I think. Oh, Slab makes it past Petitos. Slab goes for a shot back post and it hits the crossbar, and that's so unfortunate. He's gone for the shot 3 times so far, and it hasn't gone in a single time. Slabhead didn't have to tackle there, I think, but I think he panicked due to how strong the pass was and ends up losing the ball. Hisoka to Bogba. Bogba up against Berry Boy. Bogba has plenty of time on the ball. Nobody was pressuring him. Faceless Essence will be pushing up on the right wing. Takes a look at if Petitos is there or not. Faceless goes for a shot and it goes in. What a finish. Who doubted him? This is not the Bare Miracle. This is not NTA. This is Faceless Essence against Genesis. Goes past Sebi and just shoots it far post, and Slumby was taken by surprise. All because of Taxi? Well, I don't know about that, man. Pedro. Ooh, Pedro loses the ball there, and Dan is AFK, and Taxi Student, he does fair play. He does fair play, and this is social, but on the other hand, Esperanza are 4-1 up. There's not much reason to play dirty there. Although he was completely in the right to, go for a shot. Genesis returned it to Esperanza, and now Edward will play the Taxi Student. Will Taxi Student be rewarded for his socialness by karma? Not so far. Pedro on the ball. Pedro running. Finds Slab up against Petitos. I think he's through there. Petitos knew that too, and he does the right thing and kills Slaphat. Slaphat will probably go for a Woolly. He will go for... No, he won't. Yep, doesn't seem like Genesis are confident in the header game at all. And you cannot blame them. It's tough, man. Up against the line like this, and Berry Boy with a low cross, and it's picked up by Bogba. Bogba almost loses it to Milos though, and Bogba actually... Nah, never mind, he does find Taxi Student, and Taxi Student might just run away from Pedro. He tried to play faceless through, but I think it just didn't connect the way he wanted it to. Now Sebi, surrounded, finds Pedro. Not many options. Pedro will pass it back. No, he will. But yeah, Genesis have to go forward. You're 3 goals down, it's 81, and you might not come back, but at least score a couple of, of goals to show them you got teeth. Sebi, back to Pedro. Sebi did pull 2 players. Slabhead, will he go for another shot? He misses the ball, and I think he might have been past Merguezet there if he hits it. But now it's Pogba, and Pogba has Sissoko. Ooh, Milos intercepts that. The ball was not powerful enough, and Overdose goes for a low pass to Slabhead, and it actually could have made it through if Slabhead kept running, but Pogba was supposed to intercept that, and Slabhead didn't trust that he will just slide and miss it. And now Taxi Student, the GOAT of today's match. Taxi Student to Edward tries to beat 2, ends up failing, and now it's Slabhead up against Mergueza, and he will probably get slid. Never mind, Slabhead might. Yeah, Slabhead with a great chip there. For a second it looked like someone woofed him, but it actually was Slabhead just throwing the ball up, and that's a great finish. And yeah, that's what I was talking about. Genesis have to show they still got character, they're not giving up, and Slabhead finally gets his long anticipated goal, and we've had 2 chips so far. There's not much the goalkeeper can do about it. Bogba to Taxi Student. Did he run away from Dan? He did not. And Sebi was there to cover the other side, and now Genesis, will they score another one? There is an attack brewing up. Milos goes past Ahsoka. Milos, will he go for a cross? He will earn a corner. Slab attacking all game. Yeah, I guess. Ooh, the header is there, but Hisoka. And it's another time where Esperanza's net, was saved by a defender once when Slab had shot far post, and this time when Overdose hit the corner, also far post. Slab had a good tackle there, but it's minute 89 and there's not much time. Esperanza might just score their last goal or not. Pogba finds Edward. Edward, will he shoot from far? He will, but he misses the goal. It's off target, and now Genesis have to make a very quick counter attack, but Esperanza are just so bunched up. Will they let him do anything? Milos is there on the right, up against IOSoccer. Milos finds the space too, and Milos just kicks it out. And it's GG. Esperanza versus Genesis 4-2 with a valiant effort from Milos there in the end, and the overdose might have been true on goal there, but it's too late. Too late for all of that, and it is 4-2 to Esperanza. Tekapo put it on God, and he did not lie. Look at this. The streamer kit is broken. So 4-2. There we go. Let's see if there's anybody interested in interviewing. If there is, please join Discord. If there's not, please don't join Discord. I anticipated a closer game, to be fair. But it is what it is. You thought PZ would score more? No, I don't know, man. They've scored a decent bit. 4 goals is quite a lot, I think. For this division especially. And yeah, I don't think Slumby had the greatest game. But you can't really blame him when Esperanza attackers have just made their way through defenders so often. Taxi wasn't tryharding. Is that so? No, anyways, it doesn't seem like anyone came for an interview, and that means the stream should be over. It's tea actually, and yes, I do like it. So yeah, this was KZ streaming Esperanza versus Genesis. This was a cup game by the way, not the league, but the cup streamer kid just died on me. I'm sorry, Rage. I was live in Kazakhstan. It's okay. It's very cold. It's currently it's only minus 16 actually. Celsius. Usually it's like in the minus 25s around end January. Zundron cannot interview, I'm sorry. And yeah, on that note, I will end the stream. See you guys later, see you guys for another game, and bye.